We all know that moment, don't we? That tiny, almost invisible space between what happens to us and how we actually respond. Well, today, we're going to dive deep into that space, because that's where all your power really is.
Just for a second, let's go there. Think about that last time. Maybe you fired back a text a little too quickly, or maybe you just clammed up in a conversation, or said something you immediately wished you could reel back in. Come on, we've all been there.
That little gap, that space between the trigger and your reaction, that's what this is all about. Because as you're about to see, that tiny fraction of a second is where you find your peace, your confidence, your power. Okay, so if we're going to understand the pause, first we have to get a handle on the reaction. I mean, why does it happen so fast? Why does it feel like we've got zero control? Well, turns out it's not some personal flaw. That's right, this has nothing to do with you being weak or immature. Your brain is wired to keep you safe, not necessarily to keep you calm or logical. So when it even thinks there's a threat, its motto is, act first, ask questions later. And this right here, this is the whole game. A reaction? That's a gut-level survival instinct that kicks off in your body. But a response? That's a conscious choice that comes from your mind. Our goal is to make that jump from an automatic physical reaction to a deliberate, thoughtful response. And what counts as a threat these days? It's not usually a tiger in the grass, right? No, it's these emotional triggers, a sharp tone from your boss, or sudden silence from a loved one. Your nervous system can treat those exactly like a physical threat, sending you straight into fight or flight. Your body is screaming, do something now. Now here's what's so wild about this. The one part of your brain that could actually help you out, your prefrontal cortex, the CEO of your brain, it basically goes offline when your nervous system gets hijacked. You literally can't access logic when your body's in survival mode. So you see, reacting isn't a character issue, it's a regulation issue. So let's just sit with this question for a moment. When that hot flash of reactivity takes over, what's really going on? Are you defending your ego, your feeling of being safe? Or is it something deeper, like your self-worth? The answer to that, well, it can tell you a lot. And all this reactivity, it's not free. There's a cost. Living in that constant state of hair trigger reaction has all these hidden costs that just slowly chip away at our well-being. Every time we react on autopilot, we're sending a little message to ourselves. I'm not in control here. That's what erodes self-trust. It leads to that total emotional exhaustion, replaying conversations in your head, regretting what you said. And it absolutely shapes how people treat you. They learn to walk on eggshells. Over time, you can even forget who you are when you're not reacting. And this quote just nails it. This is the heart of the matter. Reactivity yanks you away from the person you actually want to be. You end up saying yes when everything inside you is screaming no, or you pick a fight when all you really want is peace. And it's all because an old wound is driving the car, not you. Really think about it. Is there a specific person, a type of meeting at work, or a situation that just always seems to trigger that reaction and regret cycle? Just being able to name it is the first huge step to changing it. Okay, so we've dug into the why and the what. Now let's get to the good stuff, the how. And this, my friends, is the most empowering part of this whole conversation. This is so important. The ability to pause is not something you either have or you don't. It is a muscle. And just like any muscle, you can train it, you can strengthen it, and you can build it with practice. You can absolutely learn to create that space for yourself. So here are 6 really concrete ways to start building that muscle. First up, name the sensation, not the story. Just focus on what your body is doing. My heart is racing, my jaw is clenched, not the drama your mind is spinning. Step 2, just breathe. Seriously, one long, slow exhale sends a safety signal to your brain. Third, have a default pause phrase ready to go. We'll talk more about that in a sec. 4, check for urgency. Ask yourself, is this really going to matter in an hour or a day? 5, practice small. Start with low-stakes stuff, like an annoying email. And finally, number 6, and this is the big one, anchor to your values. Before you do anything, ask, who do I want to be in this moment? This is the perfect example of a default pause phrase. It's so simple, right? But it's like a superpower. It buys you those crucial seconds you need to let your thinking brain get back in the driver's seat. It protects your energy and your dignity without starting a fight. All right, so as we start to wrap this up, I want to reframe this whole idea. Choosing to pause isn't about being passive or doing nothing. It's about choosing to act with dignity instead of being driven by this frantic need for immediacy. Yeah. Let's be super clear here. The pause isn't some empty void. It is a space that is full of presence. It is not weakness, it is the ultimate sign of confidence. And it's not disconnection. It's where you find your emotional independence from all the chaos happening around you. If you take just one thing away today, let it be this. In those high-pressure moments, you do not have to meet intensity with more intensity. You can reclaim your power quietly by choosing a gentle, intentional softness over that frantic need for speed.
And that's the final thought I want to leave you with. In your relationships, at your job, in the way you see yourself, what becomes possible? What changes when you decide that your own dignity is more important than an instant reaction? Just sit with that. Thanks for joining me.